Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today's the day I'm going to meet Riley Sager. I'm road tripping 5 hours, so I do have an overnight bag packed because I will be staying overnight. I'm driving 5 hours. I'm gonna get a hotel room, going to the signing with Jesse and Lena because they're also going to the same signing. Yes, we planned this. And then I'm sleeping in a hotel, waking up and driving back the next day. It's gonna be a lot, but it's gonna be worth it. Daniel just left with my car. He's gonna make sure that my tire pressure is good. He's gonna fill up the tank. He's gonna grab some cash. And then I'm gonna load up the car and we're gonna be on our way. I'm in the car, I'm on my way. It is 7:49 and I just got out on the main road, headed to the highway. I hope it's a smooth drive. I am driving through Washington, D.C., which is always a challenge, but I'm up for it. So let's do the road trip thing. Still driving, but I have about 13 minutes until I'm there. Just wanted to update you. It's been a ride. The goods are secured, and then my hotel is right across the street. So that's pretty convenient. Okay, I'm back in my room. I thought I'd give you a quick little motel tour. It's just one room. So we have the bathroom, tub, sink, toilet, and then the bed, and then the TV, of course, mini fridge, microwave, drawers, and a little desk area, which is where I just ate my Chipotle. But guys, tell me why the whole way here I had my camera in this pocket on my bag. So got to the room, came in here, called my husband, said, hey, I made it. And he was like, okay, cool. And I had not had breakfast. I haven't had breakfast, so I was like, let me go get food. So I went out to my car, saw that Chipotle was right across the road. I was like, that's where I'm going. So I went over there and I'm on my way back, and I was like, oh, Wawa, which is like a gas station, is right there. That's really convenient for gas. So didn't stop and get gas, just came right back here, parked, got all my stuff out of the car. I'm walking across the small little parking lot from where I parked to the front door. This camera falls out of my bag, slams into the parking lot, and the screen, the display screen, is completely shattered. Let me try to show you. Oh yeah, you can totally see the cracks all over the screen. All of those black cracks that you see, yeah, that means my display screen is shattered. So at least my camera is not broken, okay? It's still working, it's still recording. I just think it's the display screen. So hopefully the camera lasts for this trip, and then I can get it fixed when I get back home tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, because I will be driving and all of that. But you get what I'm saying. I gotta catch up on my messages with my friends, but you guys, of course I shattered my brand new camera display screen. Just to be on the safe side, I'm using my phone. Maybe I can hold on to that better. I'm going to the 𝒑𝒂𝒃 bookstore. I had to park back there. I'm walking to the store and I'll show you as much as I can. Of course, it is awkward to film in public, but this area is really cute. So let me show you that and then we'll look in the bookstore. Okay friends, I am back at the hotel and I am pretty much just waiting for Lena and Jesse to get here. They'll probably give me a call or a Marco Polo when they get close. But I did go to the Curious Iguana and I got 2 books that I did show you. I got Leather and Lark and Midsummer Mysteries by Agatha Christie. And then I went to the Goodwill store. I didn't film in there. It was crazy busy, super big, super overwhelming. I did walk around a little bit, looked at a few things, but ultimately didn't get anything. So then I just came back here, caught up on messages again, and now I am here checking in. Got my phone charging, got my bag packed, got my Stanley, although I probably won't bring it. It's almost empty. Yeah, I am just basically waiting, and when they get here I really don't know what the plan is, but I'm very excited to see them nonetheless. And I know I didn't get a lot of clips in the bookstore, but it was very, very small and very, very busy. This is giving buddy vibes. It is. Like it's driving me crazy.
Just received like, oh my god, Riley Sager's coming to town. Exactly, that was my reaction too. I want to give a big thank you to ERUCC for accommodating.
Years ago, and they were camping in Ethan's backyard one July night. He wakes up the next morning, the side of the tent is slashed open, Billy is gone, never seen again. So now Ethan is returned, and he starts noticing strange things around the neighborhood that makes him think Billy has also returned as a ghost, maybe? And so it's part mystery, part coming of age story, part ghost story. And the first chapter is Ethan noticing strange things going on in the neighborhood. And I noticed strange things going on in my own neighborhood. I also live on a cul-de-sac outside Princeton. Write what you know, and I did. And like Ethan, Ethan has major insomnia. I have like low-key insomnia where I can mostly sleep, but some nights it's just like, I'm awake, it's 2 a.m. And so one of those nights I was looking out the bedroom window and I could see all around the cul-de-sac. And each house has a motion triggered security light over the garage. And so I was looking out the window at the house across the cul-de-sac, which really would have been a good title if I hadn't already used it for the house across the lake.
Middle of the night, only using 3 words, what words would you use?
My friend 𝒎𝒂𝒗𝒆, who I was in a conversation with last night, he described it as sweet and spooky. And I think that's a good summation there, sweet and spooky.
Yeah, it was well, how rude. Okay, I'm back from the Riley Sager event. It was so much fun. Unfortunately, it definitely went differently than I thought it was going to. Richard 𝒕𝒐𝒏𝒅 from Chasing the Boogeyman, he was supposed to be there and kind of like moderating the event. That did not end up happening. So instead, they just had a Q&A session. And if I'm being completely honest, the questions that were asked were very repetitive and not great. But Riley Sager is such a trooper and he's so funny and so nice, and he answered all the questions. And then there was 300 people there. It was sold out. And Lena, Jesse, and I sat in our seats and waited for the entire line to go away. And then we got up and got in line and met him, and he signed my book. And it was already pre-signed, like it has like the signed copy. So it already had his name, but he wrote, "To Gwen, so great to meet you," right there. So they usually give you like a sticky and you tell him your name so he knows how to spell it. But yeah, he signed all of our books, and we got to chat with him for a little bit, and I got 2 signed book plates that I can put in some other books of mine. One is definitely gonna go in The Last Time I Lied. In fact, let's do that right now. I always struggle with where this is perfect, because right here is where the signature would go. All right, or would it go there? I'm gonna put it here. And I'm gonna use this one. I'm so excited, you guys. So, because it's my favorite, it's the first book I read by him. So nostalgic. Okay, let's do it. Right there. Yay! So I officially have signed book plate that I had, and yeah. So I ended up going back to Curious Iguana with Lena and Jesse, and I got 2 more books. A novel story by Ashley Poston. I am so freaking excited about this one, and I also got a bookmark. So, yay, that's exciting. I should have got a couple, but I only got the one. And let me put this in here. And then I also picked up We Used to Live Here by Marcus 𝒕𝒐𝒏𝒅. I don't know how to say the name. Never read anything by this author before. Not even sure if this is a debut, but I don't know. Get Out meets Parasite in this eerily haunting debut and Reddit hit, soon to be a major motion picture about 2 homeowners whose lives are turned upside down when the home's previous residents unexpectedly visit. Very excited about this. So Jesse and I got the last copies of that. But yeah, so that was my night. I'm extremely thirsty, but I think I'm going to wash my face, take all my earrings, read for a little bit, go to bed, and wake up and make the trip home, because I do have book club tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So I'm gonna be doing the same thing that I did today in reverse. Good morning. It is 4:25 a.m. hurts. I think I just want to go home. If I leave now, it may only be 4 hours until I get home. So I could be home by 8:30 in the morning. And then I could take a nap in my own bed. That would be kind of nice. But I don't know if this is the best decision because it's dark out. But I think I just want to go home and sleep in my own bed. I'm already packed. All I have to do is walk out of here. Hello friends, I'm on the road. I did in fact decide to leave at like 4:43 in the morning is when I think I got out to my car. It's 6:30 a.m. now. I have about 2 hours left. So I'm about halfway and I stopped at this rest area finally. I'm trying to debate, like I'm the worst when it comes to like drinking and eating. Like if I drink or eat, I'm gonna have to stop again. So I'm just trying to like blaze through, but oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I can't wait to go home and sleep in my own bed. Also, who knows if I'll be able to because I'm gonna be so wired from the drive, but I think I have enough gas to make it. I probably do need to stop for gas at some point, but I'm gonna wait until I'm 164. And then once I'm 164, then I'll stop for gas. But let me get back on the road, head on out, and I will share my full book haul with you guys when I get home at some point to wrap up this vlog. Okay, let's do a book haul and talk about the Riley Sager event. In 24 hours, I left my house, drove to Frederick, Maryland, went to the Riley Sager event, and drove home, which is insane. 10 hours travel time, and so 14 hours of it was sleep, and driving around, going to bookstores, having dinner with my friends, and then of course the Riley Sager event itself. I will say that the event was very different from my first author signing book tour event that I went to. I do have a video of the time that Jesse and I met up in Richmond, Virginia and went to the Ashley Winstead and Danielle Valentine event. This one, of course, I had to drive much further. I stayed overnight-ish because basically I got a 3-hour nap and then I drove home and then I came home and took like a longer nap. But the Riley Sager event, like he's a very popular author, you know, and so the venue is bigger. There's more people there. The chairs are like closer together. You kind of feel like you're squished in there like a sardine, but also the moderator was supposed to be Richard Scheismar. I even actually read Chasing the Boogeyman this month in the hopes that when I read him, I'd be able to talk to him about it, but he did not make it. And that was a little bit of a bummer. So they just kind of pivoted and said, instead of him asking Riley questions, we were going to be able to ask Riley questions. Unfortunately, that meant someone from the bookstore was like running the microphone around to different people in between like questions and stuff. And we were sitting in the middle section, and there was like a section on the left and a section on the right of us. And it's easier to get to those people. And a lot of them asked the same kind of question. Like, tell me about your writing process. That was basically the main question. Tell me about how you write your settings. Tell me about how you write your characters. Tell me about how you write, you know, whatever, all these little nitty gritty things about like the writing process and stuff, instead of like questions about like his books or even middle of the night. He did the first question, he was kind of jokingly saying like, okay, who's gonna ask me about how I came up with the idea for middle of the night? And a girl raised her hand and they passed her the microphone and she goes, so how did you come up with the idea for middle of the night? So he did explain that like write what you know, and it's at like this like cul-de-sac. He lives in a cul-de-sac. He was looking out of his window and he saw like a light come over the garage or something, and it just kind of, he told us like more of the story, but he basically said this like triggered an idea for him and stuff. There were some, I like that he didn't answer the same questions the same way. He really did expand on them and answer them in different ways, so we did get bits and pieces, but I wish there was more variety in the questions that people asked. But Jessie did get to ask her classic question, if you could describe, you know, middle of the night in 3 words. I think I got it on video, I'm not sure, but I'll share that of course if I did. That was another thing, because we were so close together, I couldn't really get good footage, and plus we were like so far back and like I could barely see him. I had to be like, and then I felt bad doing that because of the people behind me trying to see. So I wish the platform would have been higher, like if he would have been like on a stage or something like that. But you know, they had to use what they had. But he's just really funny and really personable and very like humble and very like, he has imposter syndrome still, and that's just incredible to me. But he did talk about he talked about in Final Girls how there's a guy in there named after his bully, and like used his direct name and everything. And then he also talked about his hardest book to write was The Last Time I Lied, and a lot of that had to do with Stephen King. Going back to Final Girls, when that released, Stephen King had tweeted like, ooh, check out this thriller, like best new thriller of the, you know, summer or whatever. And it was Jennifer Hillier that reached out to Riley Sager and had told him, because he was like visiting family or something at the time, and he was like, what? And of course that put it in his head like, oh no, this next book that I write, like Stephen King could be reading it. So of course that's like big pressure, you know. So he just had a lot of trouble with writing that book, and he didn't even really know how it would end until he got there. And I was like, yeah, you can tell because of how all the twists were at the end. A lot of people had also asked about like paranormal elements in his books, how like a lot of his books feel like they're going to be paranormal and how like they're not, or like how maybe, you know, some are paranormal, and like what decides that sort of thing. And then he's like, you know, now that I've written both, he's like, you don't know, is it going to be paranormal? Is it not going to be paranormal? So that kind of like opens things up for him. He also talked a little bit about why he wrote a male protagonist for the first time, and he was basically saying that he comes up with plot first and then he thinks about, okay, what would be the best character to tell this story. Like for example, The House Across the Lake, he's like, I really just want a drunk actress to tell this story, and that's what we got. So yeah, I thought that was very interesting. I love that he comes up with his plots first, because I do think sometimes they're the strongest part of his story. And we were a lot of people were saying like there's some Easter eggs and stuff like that, and is that intentional? And he's like, well, yeah. And he was saying that, oh, someone had said like, oh, so it's like the same universe. And he's like, well, yeah, you know, I want it to be like, he's like, are my stories believable? Absolutely not. He's like, I take things and I just like layer it, make it more and more and more dramatic and more ridiculous. And I do think I am going to go into his future books like with a new mindset and stuff like that. He also talked very briefly about his next project. He said, I don't know if you saw on my publisher's Instagram, which is it's Dutton. This publisher's, let me see if I can find it. I cannot find it, But basically Dutton did a timeline of his books and like when they take place and stuff like that. And there was, you know, a time period on the timeline, 1957, that had no book attached to it. And he's like, not yet, because that's what he's currently working on. So his next book is going to be set in 1957. He literally gave us no other information. He said he couldn't, and I get it. But yeah, that's what we have to look forward to next, and I'm so excited about it. So let's go ahead and get into the book haul. Obviously, the piece de resistance is Middle of the Night, signed copy. So all of the books were pre-signed, Riley Sager, and me and Jesse and Lena compared our signatures, and they were all a little bit different. And then they gave you a little sticky note. I still have my sticky note. They wrote your name and you stuck it in there, and that way when you got up to the table he would know what's right. So he just wrote, to Gwen, so great to meet you, and then it says Riley Sager. So that was that. Very excited. Let's read the first sentence together, shall we? Saturday, July 16th, 1994, 6:37 a.m. Morning sunlight seeps into the tent like a water leak, dripping onto the boy in a muted glow. There you go. There's a little sneak peek. And then our event, we initially were allowed to bring like 3 books with us that he would sign, but then the day before the event we got notification that he would not be signing any books except for this one. But he did have book plates available, which I thought was a great option. So I did grab 2 book plates. One I put in my copy of The Last Time I Lied, and then I did get another one that I could put in maybe Survive the Night. But yeah, I did go ahead and put that one in here. This is my old beat up Book of the Month copy. And then I actually went to the same bookstore on 2 separate occasions. So 𝒂𝒂𝒃, and I got Midsummer Mysteries by Agatha Christie, and this is a set of short little mysteries. There's like a table here at the beginning of all the different mysteries, so I thought this would be fun. And then I also on that first trip picked up Leather and Lark by Bren Weaver to read with Leah from Leah Beth. I think her channel is like Book Time or something like that. I'm gonna be buddy reading this with her at some point. And then when Lena and Jesse picked me up, we went back to the same bookstore and ended up getting 2 more books. I got A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, which I'm very excited about this. And then I got We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cliver. I'm not sure how to say the author's last name, but I got this one. And it's also going to be a motion picture soon. Like, yeah, Get Out meets Parasite in this eerily haunting debut and Reddit hit, soon to be a major motion picture about 2 homeowners whose lives are turned upside down when the house's previous residents unexpectedly visit. So if I take out Last Time I Lied, because I already had that one, let me make a nice little stack. All right, these are the books that I got. So yeah, super fun event. I hope I'm able to do it again, because I feel like the more that I go, like the more information I'll find out, like little Easter eggs and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye. You guys, I just read the dedication. If this is not wholesome, I don't know what is. To the author of my favorite book, I wish I could have met you, but I hope my books find your books on the shelves, and I hope they're friends. Chills, literal chills.